this is Irina Blonde from 𝐿𝐿 Crafts. So happy to be back at Scrapbook Expo at Home event. Today is all about Halloween. As always, we have show specials for you. Our first show special is 20% off. Coupon code for today's event is BATS20, BATS20. It's valid today through October 10th, and you're going to shop with us at 𝐿𝐿crafts.com. Our second show special is product bundle, and the product bundle I'll show you in a second is valued at $72. Your cost is $50, so you're saving over $20 here. Now, all of these products are available individually on our online store as well. If you already have some of these products in your craft stash, you can add on and mix and match and use your 20% off coupon code on that. Let me show you what's included in the bundle. We have one clear stamp set, 3 dies, and the papers for you today. The clear stamp set is called Batty for you, and I just adore these little bats. They are my favorite for Halloween projects and beyond. The way we designed this stamp, you can mix and match the sentiments and create cards for different occasions, not just for Halloween. First of all, the bats, you have 5 of them. 1 is flying and 3 standing and 1 is hanging, and the standing ones can actually, if you turn them upside down, they can also be hanging bats as well. Then we have a little moon here to go with them, and we have, as I mentioned, sentiments to mix and match. So we have, you can do Happy Halloween, you can do Have a Happy Halloween, you can also do Have a Fantastic Halloween, you can do You Are Fantastic, you can do Hang in There, you can do Let's Hang. So Batty for you can be used to say I'm happy for you. You can also say Batty for you, meaning you're in love with somebody. Seriously, you can mix and match and make so many fun cards. For the dice we have for you today, Halloween border. You can see this pretty big die, 5 inches long. We have a web corner for you and bare branches. Of course, we had to include the branches for your little friends, for your little bats to hang on. And the papers we have for you this time are from Get Inky paper pack. And the reason we designed this paper pack is because inking is very popular right now, but we know it could be intimidating or you might not have enough supplies. So these papers are designed to look like they have been inked. So you can see this is actually the back of the papers. So these are many designs that you can use on your projects as a base for their projects. You can use them even for mixed media projects or whatever you prefer. And then the front pages have design, but also played with the inking, just some shapes intervened in this. So you can see how this look like. I just love these papers. And even though they are not Halloween papers or not designed to be Halloween papers, you'll see how wonderfully they work on Halloween projects. Okay, so for the tutorial today, I'm going to show you how to make 3 of these fun cards. Let's begin with this card here. For my layers, I have my card base, 5.5 by 11, scored at 11 inches. 2 layers of ivory cardstock, 5.25 by 5.25, 2 layers of black cardstock, 5 by 5, layer of ivory cardstock, 4/7/8 by 4/7/8, and the layer from the paper, 4/7/8 by 4/7/8. First thing, I'm going to grab ivory, black, and designer paper. I'm going to glue them together. Now I'm going to grab 4 corners that I die cut with the die included in your bundle. This is the corner, and I'm going to glue 4 corners on each corner of my layer. I'm going to use liquid adhesive, dab a little bit in few places. And then the easiest way to put the corner on is to line up 2 sides. So I'm going to line up the point on the black right there on the corner, and then line up one of the points touching the black cardstock, and the other one is just going to fall in place. going to glue on the rest of them. Now my corners are glued on, but before we move on to the next step, I actually wanted to show you that there's so many more you can do with this corner die. I just love the corners because they are the shape that you can use in many different ways. You can put two together like this. It's basically a triangle that you can use. Look, if you put it together like this and then add a layer over it, it creates a nice topper right here, or you can use it on the project on both sides of the border or things like that. Or you can even line up and do the full circle. Look how pretty that is. So just wanted to give you another idea on using this corner die. Okay, so now this layer is ready, and we're going to create a little panel for our little bat friends there. First, I die cut postage square, and this is from our new die. It's available on our website. Don't forget to use your coupon code. Then I have ivory layer 3 1/4 by 3 1/4, black layer 3 1/2 by 3 1/2, and paper of my choice from the designer paper pack, 3 3/8 by 3 3/8. I'm going to attach them together first. So pretty. You can see how wonderfully spooky this design is with the inky paper there. Next, I'm going to grab a circle, and this was cut with our stitched circle die, also available on our website. I die cut it from the ivory cardstock. I'm going to take fossilized umber and oxide, and I'm going to add some of the ink to my moon. I'm going to create the moon. So I'm simply laying my circle down and then dragging it down like this. And this gives me this kind of another spooky kind of effect there. I also die cut Halloween border included in your bundle, and I cut it shorter. You can see I cut it to 4 inches, and I cut it down to the size that I needed for my project here. So the moon goes on first, about 1/2 inch from the top, about 1/2 inch from the right side, and then I'm going to add my border on top of the moon. This border does not have the bottom to it. So what I mean, let me show you really quick. Let me put this down and I'll show you. So this goes on here, all the way down. Is it fun? I just love this little scene. So for the border, what I mean, it doesn't have the bottom, it doesn't have the cut line there. So you can cut it at any size that you want. You can create the whole scene like this. Look how pretty this, I can't get over this paper anyways. You can just line up your border to the size of the paper and then cut it, and you can make it longer, shorter. There's so many ways to do this. I already stamped my sentiment, and this is from the same clear stamp set. I stamped it on the long flags die. Before putting it on, I'll run it through my fingers to give it a bit of a shape. We'll add a little piece of foam tape to make sure it doesn't lay flat once I put it on. And then I'll add adhesive on the end and where it touches the paper. So you can see how pretty that looks. I added my layers onto the card base with foam. So I have foam here and foam on the main panel. You can do that, or you can just glue them simply on. And then I added my bat. So this one is glued on and this one is popped on foam tape. Let's finish the inside. So I have my other layers that are left. Simply glue them together. I already have one ready this way right here. And I added 2 corners, already glued them on. You can finish by adding the other 2 corners on. It looks just really, really pretty. Or you can add another border, like so, and that will go on the inside of your card. Still plenty of room to write your message there. Let's move on to our next card. This is our card number 2, and I wanted to show you how to use this set for other occasions. So this is hang in there card. I have my card base 4¼ by 11, 2 of the ivory cardstock 4 by 5¼ 1 ivory cardstock 3/7/8 by 5 1/8, and 1 from the designer paper, the same size, 3/7/8 by 5 1/8. And this card is pretty simple. So first thing, these 2 layers, and then I pop them with the foam tape on the front of my card. Before I glue it, look how pretty this side is too. There's so many different papers to mix and match. And if you fall in love with this paper and decide to get more, you can get another paper pack, or 2 or 3, however many you need. Just remember the name of it is Get Inky, and you can use your 20% off when you shop in our online store at lalalandcrafts.com. So these 2 layers together, then I would put it on the front of my card. I die cut this shape, and this is Fancy Shapes, available on our website, and this is set called Large. I'm going to cut it in half. One of them I'm going to put onto my card base. About 1/2 inch from the bottom, line up with the printed paper, just like so. Then I have my sentiment already stamped. I also die cut skyline border, and the die looks like this. This is also available on our website. I wanted to make this card more of the urban kind of look, but of course, if you want to make it as a Halloween card, you can just die cut your Halloween border and you can line it up however you prefer on this card, so this design can be adjusted. I'm going to cut these buildings apart and add it to the back of the sentiment border. So I'm just going to line them up like so. Now I can go ahead and attach this to my card. Look pretty. Then I have the bare branches die cut from our chipboard. I'm going to grab one of them. And first, before I put it on the card, I'm going to ink it. It just felt like it needed a little bit more color to it. I'm using Distress Ink and Vintage Photo. And just go in one direction to ink it. And I just like this look so much more. Now, when I put my branch on, it's a little bit too long for my liking for this design. So I'm simply going to cut off about 1/2 inch. Before I glue it on, I also have another circle, and I'm going to use the same technique to give it a little bit color. I see now that I had to put it under my shape, so don't do like me. Just keep that in mind. Good thing I can still lift this off, so about 1/4 inch from the side, 1/4 inch from the top. So it worked out for me. I was able to tuck it in, lucky. Now the branch can go on. Also, I used on this card one of our other dies, and this is Filigree Leaves. I die cut this leaf from green cardstock, and I'm not going to use the whole leaf here. I'm actually going to cut it apart in little segments, and this is going to give me 5 smaller leaves. So on the card here, I put my hanging bat, glued it on, and then I tacked 3 of the leaves behind him, or you can put them on first before you put the little bat on. So you can align those, and then the bat goes on here. And this little guy, this bat is standing there happy. He is popped on the foam tape. Now for the inside of the card, I have my 2 other layers, and I already used my technique to create the little border around it. And I can put the other one of the shapes here and the skyline, and that will make the cute inside of the card. Now let's move on to our card number 3. And card number 3 is, I don't know if I can say my favorite, because I love how all of them turned out, but this is such a easy card to do. My card base is 7 3/4 by 7.5, and then I scored it on 7.5 inch side at 3 3/4, 2 layers of ivory cardstock, 6 1/4 by 3 1/4, another layer of ivory cardstock, 6 by 3, and the same of the printed paper, 6 by 3 as well. This card goes on really fast because all of the inking is done for you. Before I put this layer on the ivory cardstock, I'm going to stamp the sentiment first. I have it here on my acrylic block, and I'm going to use archival ink in jet black. And the way I'm going to stamp it, I'm going to stamp about 1/4 inch from the left side and 1/4 inch from the bottom. Just line this up, down, press, and up. And the next thing, I'm going to add a little frame, a little border around the layer. So I'm going to turn it upside down. And you've seen me do it before, and I did it even today on the inside of the cards, but I didn't show it, and some of you might not seen it. But I also wanted to show you what difference this makes. It really finishes the design so nicely. Now this is ready to go onto my ivory cardstock. And then again, I popped this on my card with foam, and I used 3 mm foam, or you can glue it flat if you prefer. This is kind of like a mini slimline card, and those are really popular right now. I have my second one of the bare branches. Going to do the same inking on this as well. Then you would add this to the card, and the 2 remaining leaves, arrange those where you prefer, and then your little bat friend is hanging right there. And this, you can use this card for many occasions. You can use different sentiments from your stamp set. This can be Halloween card, of course. You can say, so Betty, for you, let's hang in there. Look, you can even go this way, like he is dancing there on the branch. There are so many different ways to use these stamps and dies. For the inside, I have my other 2 ivory layers, and I did the same kind of frame all the way around, and then I stamped another bat just peeking there, and then you can glue this on the inside, and this makes a really fun card. So these are our 3 cards that we just completed. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I think we have a few more minutes. I can show you other Halloween related products that we have in our online store. And don't forget that you can use your 20% off BATS20 coupon code to get 20% off. Here are some other clear stamp sets that we have. This one is Happy Boo to You, and it has 4 little girls dressed up as a pumpkin, as a little witch, and another pumpkin kind of outfit. This one is called Trick or Sweets, and this is amazing stamp set that's actually handwritten calligraphy, and it has a lot of sentiments for you to mix and match. We have Little Witch Paper Doll Marcy. Here's our Witch Marcy. We have Witch Molly, and these are, you can see, larger size rubber stamps. And then we have Halloween Frenchie. We also have an abundance of Halloween themed dies that you can mix and match. Actually, when you go on our website to lalalandcrafts.com, if you click on the search button, you can just type Halloween there, and all of these products will come up for your easy reference, for easier way to find it. But let me show you really quick. So we have this wonderful Halloween fence. We have filigree pumpkins. They coordinate nicely with the Halloween leaves that we use today. This one says Boo, and you can see it's pretty big and it has pretty stitching in it. This one says Halloween, if you can read backwards, and it has moon or the jack-o'-lantern in for the O right there, and the letters are kind of spooky. Then we have crows and ghosts and bats. This is Boo Band. We have tombstones. We have broken fence. This is nice filler for all of your Halloween projects and beyond. Jack-o'-lantern border and web border. Well, this is all for me for today. I hope you stay safe and healthy. Bye for now. Much love.